And good morning and welcome to TBS This Morning. Here we are again. We're on the busy streets of Castries. We're on the highway actually, and we thought why not get a piece of that scenery for you this morning. This morning again, what do we have? We got 3 features today. It's Thursday, so we got 3 features today. There is going to be some junior jazz. I really like that concept. We caught up with the mayor. We're going to take you on the inside of some of that. We also have this morning. Yesterday was Lupus, a Wednesday, the 10th of May, and we had a chat with some of the ladies. Well, one of the ladies actually from the Lupus department here in St. Lucia. We're going to learn some more about Lupus this morning as well. And we also had we did catch up with a designer, Tania. Tania is a St. Lucian designer, and we wanted to find out a little bit more about her. So she's going to be telling us a little bit more about her and her business as well this morning. But first, we will kick off with our headlines. Here's Kendall with the headlines.
Good morning. Legal action has been taken against House Speaker Claudius Francis yet again by Leader of the Opposition, Alan Chasney. This time, Chasney is challenging the validity of his suspension from Parliament as well as alleged attempts to detain him during the parliamentary sitting of May 2nd, 2023.
The Leader of the Opposition, in my view, has all right but to consider all legal options to ensure that his rights are safeguarded. Democracy is under threat in this country. We must understand that while the Labour Party would have won some 15 seats, the United Workers' Party had over 35,000 people that voted for it. And the Leader of the Opposition and the MP for Chazelle are there to represent those 34,000 people, to give them voice and to give their issues voice in the Parliament.
Again, this is the second such case filed against the House Speaker for violation of the constitutional rights of the opposition leader. The previous case, brought in October last year, concluded with a consent order being signed by both parties, which declared that the House Speaker had no authority to refer the opposition leader to the Privileges Committee. St. Lucia welcomed the professional NBA player Terrence Mann to the island on Wednesday.
I just want to thank you for the warm welcome. That's much appreciated. I've been dreaming about an opportunity like this since I was little. So, to be able to be here and be in a position to give back as best I can, it means the world to me. To hear all the stories my mom and dad tell me growing up about the island, coming to the island for so long when I was little, and just, seeing things that I wanted to do here just in my imagination, and now being able to be in a position to help out, especially with the youth sports, I'm excited for it. So, I'm excited for those conversations. But yeah, thank you to the tourism board. Thank you to everybody who gave me this opportunity to be in front of these cameras. Not only my parents, but, everybody, the surrounding cast. So I really appreciate it. Me and Rob are really going to enjoy the island this week, especially Jazz Fest. And yeah, take it from there. So thank you so much.
Man who plays for the LA Clippers is of St. Lucian heritage and is in St. Lucia in time for the Jazz and Arts Festival. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs has issued a special appeal for safety and well-being to be placed high on the agenda during the jazz season, with a special emphasis on food safety.
We are not only looking at the food safety as well. At the event, we are looking at water quality, availability of toilets, wastewater management, among other things. But to focus on food safety, a list has been provided to us of all vendors that will be partaking in the event. We have been mobilizing our inspectors. The places where the food is being prepared, they are being inspected as we speak. A lot of them have been inspected. The persons are obtaining the licenses to operate. Notwithstanding that, we have trained a number of the food handlers that are partaking in the event. That includes those that would be including those that are at Masha, that event that took place recently. We work very closely with those vendors to ensure the safety of food. We are also working with the vendors at Main Stage, that is at Pigeon Island, to ensure food safety. They are visiting our office, ensuring that the health cards are in order, obtaining the temporary permits.
Food safety falls under the ambit of the Public Health Act, and so there are certain requirements that must be met in order for one to engage in food vending. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force, meanwhile, has announced a new traffic management plan ahead of the hosting of the main stage events for the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. The plan aims to facilitate the free flow of movement to and from the events.
The Royal St. Lucia Police Force would like to advise the motoring public of the following road closures at the Pigeon Island Causeway from Wednesday, May 10th, 2023 to Sunday, May 14th, 2023. This is to facilitate the hosting of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. This is to ensure free and safe movement of vehicular and pedestrian traffic during and immediately after the event. On Wednesday, May 10th from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. On Friday, May 12th from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. On Saturday, May 13th from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. and on Sunday, May 14th from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
That traffic management plan will remain in effect from Wednesday, May 10th to Sunday, May 14th. Police officers will also be on the ground to ensure the safety of patrons as well as their property. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
And thank you so much, Kendall. We will take a break and then we come back with our first feature in a minute. And now for our first feature. Yesterday was Lupus Awareness Day, the 10th of May, and we caught up with someone from the department. Let's learn some more about the recognition. And we here, it's Lupus Awareness Day, it's Global Lupus Awareness Day. It's the 10th of May, and that's the Global Recognition Day for Lupus Awareness. I'm here with Jamina Joseph. Jamina is, what's your title again? You're the former president of the Lupus Association of St.
Yes,
Lucia.
I am.
But you're now just a member.
I'm just a member.
Right. Tell us about today. What is happening today?
Okay. Well, today, as Maureen just mentioned, it's Lupus Awareness Day, World Lupus Awareness Day. And so we want to bring out awareness to people. A lot of people do not know about lupus. So we want to inform them about lupus. Certain people, you approach them and you ask them, you tell them, well, today is Lupus Day, or they probably see you wearing the shirt and they ask you, what is lupus? You know, we have to explain to them and tell them exactly what it is.
What is lupus? Because I meant to ask, the proper definition of what lupus is.
Therefore, well, before I go to that, therefore we have this day to bring out awareness and to make people know that there is a disease called lupus. Lupus is actually an autoimmune disease which affects various parts of the body. It's can affect internally or externally. There are different names. Well, internally, like the organs, and so there are different names for it. Like for internal organs, those affecting internal organs is systemic, whilst those affecting the external is discoid lupus. Right. And autoimmune is when the body attacks its own self.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's what lupus does. It doesn't recognize good cells or bad cells.
Wow.
It just wants to attack, and so it attacks any cells of the body.
Do we know what causes lupus? Is there something that actually triggers or causes lupus? Nobody knows, right?
No. It's actually an ongoing research. We do not. The doctors who are doing the research, they do not know as yet what causes lupus.
So what can we do if we don't know what we are doing or not doing to be able to attract this disease? What should our approach be when it comes to lupus?
Well, you see, the thing is about lupus, it is not just something that maybe you have it and I get it.
Right.
You know.
It is not
transmittable. So therefore, it's just, you just have symptoms, and probably you go to the doctor and they decide to do a lupus test. Right. Because we have this thing called a fact sheet, where you have 11 symptoms there, and if you possibly have 5 out of the 11, then you possibly have lupus. It's not stated that you do have lupus just because
it's not concrete,
just because
the possibility does exist, that there's a high chance.
Yes, it does.
Wow. If you realize, can it be managed? Can you manage lupus? Because you don't know how you can get it. You don't have any control of whether you get it or not. But when you do find out, if you do find out that there's a possibility you have the disease, what can be done? Can it be managed? Can you do something to?
Yes, lupus can be managed. If I may say that I am a lupus warrior.
You are?
Yes, I am.
Oh my.
Of 7 years this year. It will be 7 years this year since I was diagnosed with lupus. I do not have lupus because I'm not carrying it with me. I was diagnosed with lupus.
Right.
Management, yes, you do your regular doctor visits. You take your medication. Exercise. Exercise is very important, and also family support. Once you get that support, you have a backbone. It's people to help you stand up straight. To help. It goes a long way in managing lupus.
What does a lupus patient or a carrier deals with? What do you battle with? What do you feel? What is the feeling like? What are some of the symptoms? What do you go through on a basis?
Fatigue plays a very big role. Joint pain, body aches, swelling.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, so is it a constant thing, or it flares up at particular times?
There are flares.
Wow.
Again, well, with lupus, everybody is different. Right. I cannot say that I have lupus and maybe you have lupus, and for me to speak to you and tell you, we have the same symptoms. Right. No, okay. I cannot tell you that's what to expect, because we are all different. Everybody dealing with lupus is different, because for me, my experience with lupus, when I tell certain people about it now, they're like, oh, really? I never experienced that before.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
So we are all different. We can share in giving support to each other because, for example, like I mentioned, the fatigue. A lot of us, we do feel the fatigue, so if somebody's feeling really tired and they say they don't know the reason why, then maybe, just saying that, okay, I do feel tired as well, so it extends support.
Right. Let's talk now in terms of stats. We hear you're one. Probably I'd be passing you and so many other people on the road not knowing that these are people who are battling this disease. What is our stats like in Lucia?
That I am not too sure about.
But off your head, because you're one, so there must have been probably even more predisposed to, at least may have come into contact with other people who probably
yes I do come into contact with other people who do. Of course, there are more ladies than men with the condition.
Is there a scientific explanation for that, or not really?
Not really. It's just that more ladies diagnosed with the condition.
Or maybe we like to go to the doctor more often, innit? Maybe we go to the doctor more than the men. The men don't like to go to the doctors. So maybe that's the thing as well.
Maybe. Of course, yes, you would pass somebody on the road and not know. That's just to look at them and say, oh, that person has lupus. Right. No, you cannot do it. But I find now, I don't know if it's because we are raising more awareness, especially like having a day like today.
Yes.
We have more people coming out with the condition.
Right.
It's not a sickness. Right. I must let St. Lucians know, or the wider community know, it is not a sickness, it's a condition.
Right.
Because sick people, they are in hospital.
Yeah, look at you. Exactly, absolutely. And
so it's a condition we carry around.
I think I looked at a stat somewhere from the 2022 report where it said that at least 87%, at least one person have an organ. Because sometimes it attacks an organ.
Yes, it does. So yes.
This is the part that is most worrisome. Is it?
It is a part that is most worrisome. As a matter of fact, we have members who are on dialysis at the moment.
Wow.
Yes,
wow.
Because of the kidneys being affected through lupus.
Wow. Let's talk now, because we hear the color is purple. Any reason why the color purple was used as the, and I got my pin, so I'm happy I'm representing today. Is there a particular reason why purple was the color?
Well, like every other organization or association, there's a color attached to them. So purple is just for lupus.
Lupus.
Yes. And the butterflies as well, they represent, well, some people with lupus, the Mila rash, which is a butterfly rash you get across your face. That is something that a lot of lupus warriors get. So this is kind of our symbol, the butterfly. Yes.
Right. Let's talk about the day today. Is there any theme on which today's observance is kept?
Yes, it is actually Make Lupus Visible.
Visible.
Yes.
That is, Make Lupus Visible. I've been reading it all the time. I didn't realize that's the actual theme. That
yes,
is wonderful.
It is the theme for today.
So what would you like persons viewing this show to walk away with? And I mean, it coming from you to be very, very worthwhile, because you are actually battling this thing here. So you will be very well placed to let us know what it is you would like us to take away from this message today.
Okay. I'd just like to let the public know that lupus is manageable. Like I said earlier on, it is not, well, you will say that you are sick and you feel sick sometimes. Of course we do. But it is a medical condition. Don't go about, feeling down. If the doctor said that you diagnosed with lupus, don't go around feeling down and all depressed and everything. It happens. I understand. We are all human beings. It happens. But you can, manage it in a way. We also have the association, the St. Lucia Arthritis and Lupus Association, where you can meet other persons who have lupus, and they can be reached at 486-7000. You just communicate, and you communicate there, you give your information, and maybe somebody from the association can reach out to you. I can reach out to you if you would like me to. Yes.
This is great stuff. In terms of the general public and our approach to the entire thing, persons who may be diagnosed, but what about our approach now as an individual? How can we make the life of a lupus carrier a lot easier or better?
Okay, to the general public, we need your support. Do not look at a lupus warrior and think, well, this person is sick and there may be things that they are not able to do. Because if they tell you they can do it, then they can do it. Also, if the person says they are not able to do it, do not look down at them either, because that's just for a time. At this time, they are not able to. So don't make them feel like because you are not able to do it at this time that you will not be able to do it at all. We are looking for support. We are looking for people to stand with us and just be there for us.
Absolutely. Well, we're here for you. Definitely are here for you. And do we say, well, how will you greet somebody on a World Lupus Day? Do you have a greeting? I'm not sure. Make lupus visible. So remember, we're doing that, and this is a day to mark that. Let's keep it in our eyes, our ears, our mindset, and we can support the Lupus Association on the island as well in any way. Financially, we can make donations and stuff. We could volunteer from time to time as well.
Lupus, well, the association, St. Lucia Arthritis and Lupus Association, is not only for persons who have the condition. It's for anybody who wants to come in and provide their support, because obviously we have our limitations. There are days when we feel fatigued and we may not able to go the extra mile. So we're asking for persons who are able to come in, join the association, and give us that support as much as possible. We are a non-profit organization. We are actually working to raise funds, actually, to make things work for us. So as much support as we get is greatly appreciated.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Second feature, we find out some more about this local designer, Tania.
Hi, my name is Tania Small. I'm a fashion designer from Barbados. I started having a passion for fashion design from primary school when I first learned needlework. Also, my mom was a seamstress. I used to assist her with her working as well. Throughout the years, I developed a more passion and love for the craft, and I decided to open my own business at 16. In my earlier days, I used to actually draw out my designs from my mind, but now the culture has changed, whereas persons are more influenced by Instagram and social media and different pop culture. So they more want fashion where they see that comes from international. Persons don't really do inspiration from themselves. You'll find few customers that ask for such. There was a time when I did want to set myself apart from the rest. But in order to survive in the industry in this particular country, I go based on what my customers ask for. Before in Barbados, or when I was in Jamaica, or even when I was in Canada, I could pull inspiration, draw it out and give it to a customer and then resource materials. Whereas in St. Lucia, more people sent me a photo of what they want, and I try my best to use what limited materials that are available, the resources that are here, or if I have to order them from online to replicate what they ask for. My specialty is swimsuits. I also do party wear, brunch, church clothing, weddings. I'm branching out into work clothes. That wasn't really my field before, then I realized this was a culture that demanded it, so I broadened my capabilities. In Barbados, I've collaborated with people like Betty West. I've collaborated with different artists from Jamaica, from Miami, from Canada, Trinidad. That was years ago. Throughout the years, some of the bigger challenges I've encountered would be sourcing of materials and keeping up with current trends. I also travel throughout countries, so it's difficult to transfer what one culture in a country deals with and transfer it to another culture. So each country has their own unspoken culture, whereas they expect certain things to be a particular way. So I had to adapt to each culture when I travel. I originally came to St. Lucia when my fiance died in Barbados. I literally put 6 names in a hat and I pulled. Antigua came out, Bahamas came out, I pulled several times, me, my mom and my sister, and St. Lucia came up 3 times, so I bought a ticket and came to St. Lucia. So far, St. Lucia has been, I would be honest and say, up and down. It's been really rough. At first when I came here, I loved it. I came here to mourn. I spent 6 months in mourning. Then I came back out in my designing and stuff. I had carnival bands. I helped with carnival bands in St. Lucia. Then strategy strikes. I had somebody work on me, so I was actually losing my mind for a couple of years. So I had stopped designing for like 5 years, trying to catch back myself. Then I started back. When I started back, it was a little frustrating because I could not really remember my skills from before. So I cried it out, and I had to go on my balcony and say, you know what, Tania, we're gonna start from scratch. It wasn't easy because I seen the standard I was before, and then being like a baby, it was frustrating. I would have customers come to me, and I couldn't even remember how to make the garment, but I knew I have pictures of me making it from before. So what I would do, I would cut it out, and when they come, I would pin it onto them, and then go from there. Instead of trying to come back from full 100, I just started from 0 and took baby steps to get back where I am now. Currently, I'm working on a hygiene line. We will have body scrubs, lotions, bath soaps, shampoos and conditioners. For Mother's Day, I'm collaborating with some of my customers and friends who have their own businesses so they can get exposure for the holidays. I know Mother's Day is a big deal, so I have someone that does nails, someone does pedicures, and then another lady, she sells t-shirts and mugs. I also do that as well, but I want her business, that is a relatively new business, to get the exposure in St. Lucia. So for me right now, I see myself helping younger persons or other persons that are entrepreneurs to encourage them and sometimes coach them to where they want to be. Being that I had to start my journey over, and in a different culture as well. I more have an idea of this culture and I can help them expand in their own country. If anyone desires to contact me, you can find me on social media on Instagram at Tania Small for Jesus at Gmail. My page name is Athlete Designs. My telephone number is 724-7436. For anyone that is viewing this broadcast, my advice to you would be, you are not the final product. Where you are today, you may not be in that position in 5 years. Take it easy on yourself, learn, expand, find a good mentor, someone that you can trust, and expand and develop yourself into a beautiful person that you were created to be.
And now for our final feature. We caught up with the mayor because today, later on today, there's going to be some junior jazz happening right here at the Serenity Park in St. Lucia. And we caught up with the mayor who gave us some insight. And I'm hoping you're going to come down later on as well and taking some of that. And we're here with the mayor of Castries. We are at the Serenity Park. You see what's going on. Lots is going on in the back of us right there. And something caught my attention, junior jazz. Now, don't that just sounds absolutely amazing? This mayor is a woman after my own heart. You have insight, you have foresight. Something like that falling under your portfolio. I think this is brilliant. When I saw that come across my WhatsApp this morning, I thought, wow, why didn't anybody else think of that? No, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm just expressing how I feel. Yes. Just yesterday with Arts in the City, what you guys are doing as part of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, I think you really you and your team really did understand the assignment, because we talk a lot about it and we say we have to get the children involved. That is how he's going to induct them into it, and for them to have that growing passion, so that later on we don't have to fight so hard to get them to, to sell a concept to them. And yesterday we saw also the Arts in the City, and we are now at Serenity Park, and I'm only now getting the opportunity to see some of the painting that they did yesterday. So and we are now getting set for jazz, or junior jazz and arts, right here at the Serenity Park tomorrow. Tell me about that.
Right, so the aspect of the jazz festival which we have brought on board is what we call the Junior Jazz Festival, and we've incorporated the music as well as art. It is in its infant stage. We expect this thing to grow, but the real thinking was that we needed to have the opportunity for continuity, and that is actually the tagline. We need young persons to come out there and to recognize that they are important within the arts. Think about it. When you see a new artist, you hardly see people in their 30s, 40s, 50s coming out as new artists. Yeah. You see young persons coming out as new artists, and therefore that is where the talent lies. That is where the new vision is. Art reflects its era. The artist of the 1950s is not the artist of the 20th century. And as such, we need to ensure that we cause them to create, and we cause them to have their own influence on art and culture. And so this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for schools. Importantly, we tell them go to school, learn music, learn art. Yes. How do they bring it out? Yes. Do they have to remain after they leave school to bring it out? What is the best time? The best time is now. The best time is when they can be tutored, they can be mentored. And I just want to shout out the teachers who are here. Yeah. Teachers who came out to take hot sun for 2 days. Art teachers, right. Coming out from Leon Hess Comprehensive, coming out from St. Mary's College. And we know there's still space for more. Yeah. So next year we're going to do that. And in fact, they have already begun to think about what they want to do. They speak about going out and create a mural in Castries.
Wow.
So they're thinking big.
The excitement is now building amongst them.
It is good. What is great, we had the sponsors.
Yeah.
First National Bank came on as a title sponsor. Wonderful. Lucia came on. Harry Spain. Sandals has been one of our biggest cheerleaders. ESP Studios, because one of the things that you need to understand, and it's something for, I think if you go in there, you're going to get so excited. There is a studio in Bize called ESP Studios.
Really?
And they're going there to practice. It's a professional studio. It's a
Wow.
recording studio.
Wow.
They're
I
meeting
had
with
no
Emerson Nurse. They're meeting with Patsy Cadet. They're meeting with, they met Jab Duplessis. They met, so it's really passing on the note. And it's really saying to the bands out there that yes, let's incorporate one or two of them into it.
Yes.
And then we know that we are building something. We're building something for St. Lucia. We're building something for the young people, and we're giving them a platform for them to perform.
Absolutely.
Coming out of that, we already know we're going to have a celebration. Sandals has already come on board for us to celebrate that event after the event.
Right.
And importantly for us to see where do we move forward? How do we continue to engage these young persons? Because, you know, the city council, if you look at its mandate, it's about economic activity, it's about people development, it's about cleanliness, it's about all of those things. And for a very long time, it has remained cleanliness.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we now have a platform. We have great venues. I say to people, Castries is the events capital.
Yes.
We have Serenity Park, we have Derek Walcott Square, we have Constitution Park.
That's right.
And that area affords us the ability for a lot of parking. You'll have an event in Castries and you're not going to feel a congestion and so forth, because it allows that. And so we need to build upon what we have and make the place, you know, realize its full potential. Its full potential. So the parking meters that we put in down, all that is part of it. We're excited about what we are doing. But we can't do things for the youth. We must make them do things for themselves. We must make them believe that within them, that they can contribute. I bring up my children and I say to them, look, anything that you could do for yourself, do it.
Yes.
Don't depend on anybody to do it for you. And so it's a very same message I'm sending out to the young persons. There's a lot that you can do. There's a lot that you have that we do not have as adults. Put it into.
Absolutely. Let's talk about tomorrow, what's going to be happening. We hope to come back to catch some pictures of what is going to be going down. But what is going to be happening
so
tomorrow?
we're going to have quite a few young persons, all the artists below 24, 24 and below. We're going to have a number of the school bands here. School bands would never get an opportunity for them to be showcased.
Yes.
They are actually going to be here. We have persons playing a variety of instruments, young persons playing a variety of instruments who are going to be on the stage tomorrow. On Friday rather, we wanted to end with almost like a nice little carnival type environment. So we're going to have some dancers here. We're going to have the young people playing the music. And so we believe that what we're going to have is a showcase of new talent and a showcase of young persons in a very important initiative.
Purposeful. What time do we look at? What time is the event going to be kicked off?
From 11 to 3, we want to start on time, which is why we are trying to ensure that everything is in place today and for us to kick off these 2 days.
Is it open for all students or
all students? We've gone through the schools and also, you know, persons who want to come in. We also have a special area within here which we call an adult area where we'll have drinks being sold there that would not be served to young persons, and we've all, because at the end of the day what we call it is passing the note. So we expect older persons to be there, we expect young persons to be there, we expect persons to come in and even scout for talent right here. So I think it's an exciting time, and I believe it is a platform for us to build something different within our St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival.
I think this is a remarkable and a brilliant initiative. I'd stand with this 100%. We can't wait to see what's going to be happening here tomorrow. Anything you want to leave with the
just
viewers?
to leave the kudos with the persons who came up with the idea. It's a teacher from the Patricia D. James School, Mr. Hippolyte, who came up with the idea, and then Mr. Colin Wicks met me as well. He had the same idea, brought the two together, and the idea was exactly the same. So we just hung on to it and we decided to put energy with it.
Wonderful.
And so, you know, it would not have been possible if our sponsors didn't come along, if those persons didn't give us the energy that we needed. So we are here because we've gotten the support and we've got energy like you behind us. I think that's what we need.
Wonderful. We are happy to be here as DBS. So thank you again, and we will be back tomorrow morning.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. And that is our show for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Join us again tomorrow right here on DBS This Morning.